Still.
Yes, people, what's going on? You're here with myself, Guni, and my guest -1. Yeah, you're back to the Ball and Bant show. That clock needs to go, though. I don't know why it's still there. That's getting on my nerves. What the fuck? Yeah, get out of here, blood. That's the one. All right, then, yeah. -1 guest. OBS has been kicking my ass up until this point, and it still decides to do it while I'm live on stream. But we never give up. We never quit. Here we are. But it's an interesting week. Hamza's trying to say that he's got a bit of technical issues. I don't quite believe him, bruv. His team's in the mud. He's tired of seeing certain faces, and you don't want to talk about it, yeah? I know you're watching, Hamza. We're going to keep going at you until your face is up here on the stream. But big up everyone that's joined in. Obviously, Guns in the building. We got Ty as well this week. Big up yourself for joining. We got Alan, the Spurs fan, this week. Thanks for joining again. Hussam is back with a smile on his face. Yeah. So do you know what? Let's start off with the whole Liverpool situation. What's going on? Is it Liverpool or is it Man United? Because I'm hearing it's one or the other. It can't be both that Qatar's looking at.
There's bad news for both you and League Honor. There's a third club as well, and that's Tottenham Hotspur that they might end up buying.
Fuck
but
off.
After 6, listen. I don't even know how to share screen on this thing, but according to Al Jazeera, it's essentially Liverpool, Man United, and Tottenham Hotspur that they're interested in. We spoke to one of the sort of Spurs journalists today, and he was a little bit sure of it and shit. The only problem from Spurs' perspective is they value their club at 4.5 billion. So essentially, from Qatar's perspective, if you're gonna buy, you're gonna go into the ocean, and a shark costs the same as a dolphin, you're gonna buy a shark. So no one's gonna buy a dolphin for the same amount as a shark. So it's just how it goes. So look, from my perspective, I'm not going into meltdown like the rest of my fan base. There's objective reasons as to why I still think that Qatar are going to buy us. The people who released information. Look, let me just make one thing clear. With my football club and with Ty's football club, it's two totally different animals. With him, he gets information about his club constantly. Our club's a closed space. We don't even get transfer information. So it's totally natural that Liverpool journalists don't come out and say, yo, take over 1, 2, and 3, blah, blah, blah. That stuff doesn't happen for us. We don't even get that for transfers. Ty will know about the transfer 2 months, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before it happens. We don't. We knew the gap.
On about Jude Bellingham signing for you lot for Adam.
No, but that's something I'm sure about. That's something I'm sure about. But that's something that's not reported by Liverpool journalists, is what I'm saying. Anyway, so the objective reasons as to why I think they're gonna choose us, they're gonna buy us over Man United, is number one, we've made more commercial revenue than them. So we are a more profitable club at this moment in time. You can shake your head, numbers don't lie. Simple as that. We've made more revenue than them at this moment in time. I know Man United are the bigger brand for the last 20 years, but the baby shark has grown up, and the shark is now massive, and it's swimming in the ocean with the big sharks. We don't need any infrastructure. The stadium's already ready. We already have a training center. You can't buy a football club without a jacuzzi. That's just sad. And then you got... sort of the situation at both clubs. The debt, the Glazers have a debt of 800 million, almost a billion for Manchester United, whilst we only have 100 million in debt, and it's low interest as well because it's debt via FSG. I came ready with information, with numbers. Numbers don't lie, habibi. And also, finally, I don't think if the Telegraph report is true, and the offer is 4.5 billion, Glazers ain't going to sell for 4.5 billion. They are not going to sell for 4.5 billion. They have no reason to sell for 4.5 billion. Apparently, they value the club at 6 billion. So on top of the 6 billion, the new owner is going to have to pay off the debt and fix the infrastructure and do all of that. With Liverpool, you buy, hire sporting director, buy players, and you're at the top of the world again. That's it. It's a very simple process. Step 1, buy club. Step 2, hire sporting director. Step 3, buy players. And you're good to go. That's it. With Man United, there's about 10 steps to reach success. And finally, last but not least, the final reason as to why I think they're going to buy us is Man United are owned by multiple different companies. This is via CNN, by the way. Not Hussam. This is not information from my ass. Via CNN, there are companies that own up to 20% of Manchester United. If we're talking percentages and numbers, they could buy up to 75, 80%, 85% of Liverpool easily, because the only people with us are sort of, LeBron James, who's just he's just an athlete. So he only has 2% or 3% or whatever. So that wouldn't be a problem. So I'm quite confident still. And I think Qatar will buy Manchester United, will buy Liverpool. And if I'm speaking about them, I think probably Dubai buys them eventually. That's probably just my opinion, just my prediction. So yeah, I'm still excited. I'm not going into meltdown like the rest of my fan base.
Nice pitch.
Rah. Ty, you sound like you got something to say about that, bruv.
Hey, first of all, big up Guni for having me on. Big up all the panel, man. I got to show my respects every time. Make sure the man them are liking the video. But Hassam, I disagree with you. I'm gonna say, I just spoke on it now on my stream on Trafford Tunnel. Yeah, I think when you look at us, Sir Alex Ferguson left the club, and the way we've been, we've won trophies, this and that in between, not major trophies, we've won little bits and bobs. I've never been happy with Manchester United and the managers they've hired. Jose Mourinho won the Europa League the day after I woke up, and I was like, damn, this guy's still stuck in the job. I never wanted that guy in the first place. We've tried and tested these people, and it's not worked. We've now got a manager, and Erik ten Hag, right, for the first time in 10 years. And you know I keep it 100 Hassam all the time. This is the first manager I've fully been so happy with that we've got. Look at our season right now. Yeah, people could say, yeah, we're expected to get top 4. We spent 200 million. Cool, you can say that. But real talk, people thought top 6, maybe win a trophy and see better football first. We're overachieving so far this season in terms of obviously what our team is like, even though Manchester United always have high standards. Right now, in 4 trophies, top 4 at the moment. And you look at the way the club's heading right now, it's the best way the club has been heading in the last 10 years. And all rival fans will see that. When you see rival fans getting a bit triggered by the way we're moving, you know something's going right. The direction is heading in the right path. And you say about, the Glazers can't sell, the Glazers won't sell for 4.5 billion. You just spoken it yourself, and I'm going to kind of come back to that. You said the debt, 800 million, 2 billion, whatever the debt is, right? The owners that are coming in to buy Manchester United already know that. They're not coming in blind and saying, oh, by the way, when we get to the table, Glazers are going to hit him with, oh, we're in this much debt. The club are in that debt, and the owners coming in will know that. So when you take away what we've got to spend in terms of the new owners have got to come in, switch up the stadium or get a new stadium. They've got to build a new infrastructure in terms of training development, because you look at Leicester's, you look at what Newcastle want to do, you look at what Man City have done, you look at what Tottenham have done. They've all got a better training complex than us. 100% we need to change that. We've got a league and roof, for goodness sake. We've got the women's football that's getting big, even though I'm not really a big fan of women's football. When you add all them costs up, yes, we're going to have to invest money, the new owners. That's going to add up a lot of money. You add on the debt as well that they're already going to pay, which is 2 billion. So you're looking at maybe extra, I say 3 or 4 billion they've got to add on. Bro, you don't buy a business for 7 billion when you've got to make that much investments to improve it. If I went to the table, right, with you, Hassam, and we're chatting, we're having a nice curry, yeah, and I'm like, I want to buy this off you. And you're like, do you know what, Ty, the stadium's done, the training ground's done, this is done. You could say to me, right, 7 billion, because when I spend my money, I've not got to come in and do anything. How can I go and sit with you and you're like, I'm like, right, do you know what, Hassam, I want to buy this off you, but I've got to rip up the training ground. I've got to do something with the stadium. I've got to do X, Y, and Z, infrastructure, whatever it is. I'm not going to pay you what you want because I'm going to be spending my money after, then reinvest in it. So whether the club go for 5 billion or 5.5 or 4.5, the Glazers are going to be in an auction. Once someone bids, me and Lee were just talking about it. Someone else who's interested will then roll the dice, and the highest offer will then get accepted. The Glazers have nowhere to run now. It's been long enough. Yeah, people want them out. They're probably tired of it as well. But you've got to take into account how much the new owners have got to spend. So you then take that off the price that they will probably want, because we're going to have to spend that anyway. But when you look at Manchester United, the club, by the way, we are heading in the right direction. No disrespect to Liverpool. We are better than you right now. And I actually think next year we'll be even more better than you right now. And that's the way it is. Yes, you've had a great 4 or 5 seasons, but look at the way we're going right now as a direction of a club. So for me, Manchester United commercially is still the biggest team in the world, alongside Real Madrid and stuff like that. Go to Sydney, Hong Kong, Jamaica, Canada. We are there. So, bro, when you look at us as a football club, this is the best we've been in terms of the football team, the manager right now. Yes, you've got to rip up and do things. But you tell me, man, who buys a business and doesn't want growth? You think I'm going to invest my money and just say, yeah, cool. You want growth. Investing in the team, investing in the training ground, investing in the stadium and doing all that provides growth. Them Qataris or the Romanians or the Russians or the Chinese then sell it in years to come. The club's then in a better position. You buy to then make growth. So, bro, they would come to Manchester United over Liverpool, period.
There is no need for me to say anything back, because you literally just proved
it's
my
facts.
point. Everything you just said literally proves why they would want to buy Liverpool more.
Not at all. Not at all. What?
So basically,
no, not at all. Sorry, I wouldn't want to cut you off.
I didn't interrupt you.
I've just said to you, they've got to invest. They've
Can I
got to
just
invest.
respond to your point before my brain
the
forgets?
investment comes off of what they would price, what they would quote. Because I'm
Yes.
going to the dinner table with you, telling you what I would need to do. You can't sit there and look me in the eye and say no.
Yes, 100%. Now, because I'm not in debt, I will take out the same owner, and I'm not going to take him to a curry. I'm going to take him to Nobu, and I'm going to sit him down, and I'm going to tell him, listen here, bro, you don't have to edit the stadium. You don't have to edit any infrastructure. You're not going to have to pay 800 million in debt. You don't have to fix the stadium. You don't have to build me a training center. I'm a stable situation for the last 5 years. I'm on an upwards trajectory in terms of revenue. I've overtaken the biggest club in terms of revenue, and I cost 3 billion less than the biggest club in terms of revenue. So now, why would I go invest into something that needs 100 different things than just step 1, buy club, step 2, hire director, step 3, buy players, and I'm already, boom, on my upward trajectory again.
I hear that.
Whilst the other end of the spectrum is, I've got to do 10 different things to get on that end of the spectrum. If this was 2012, I would agree with every single word you said. But because of the work that we've done off the pitch in the last 5-6 years, we actually took Man United's guy. The Man United commercial guy, we took him and we employed him. The FSG did that, so we always give them credit off the pitch. We employed him, and that's the reason why we've exploded commercially. So I'm saying, for me, it's much shorter steps to get to the promised land. Whereas with you, I've got to do 15 different things.
Okay.
And by the way,
when you buy a business, Sam, where
you're at in the league right now doesn't matter.
When you buy a business,
where you're at in the league right now does not matter. If Man United were but just hear me out. If Man United were 15th and I was first, my argument wouldn't change based on where we were in the league, because we're speaking investments here. We're not speaking, oh my God, it's great with Ten Hag and it's shit with Klopp. Because if this was happening a year ago, I wouldn't tell you, we were challenging for a quadruple. I wouldn't say that. It doesn't matter where you're at in the league. It's about money. That's what it's about.
Okay, and I respect it, but I don't believe that if you go into business, right, and I can talk of my company, where I work now was taken over, and it's like, we're not going to make too many changes and stuff like that. Even if you've got a nice training ground, even if you've got everything that you feel like is pretty right now, and a club come in and buy you, and they don't have to make many changes, as you're saying, cool, that's fine. But who's going to buy a business and say, do you know what, because they've got this and this, I don't want to make my own changes? When you own a club or you own a business, you want to have your own stamp on things. You want to make your own blueprint. If Man United's new owners come in, they're going to want to make their stamp. They're going to want to make sure it's their way. So even if a club is brilliant, like yours, and you're saying in the infrastructure and stuff like that, they're still going to want to change certain things. They're not just going to come in and say, right, let's keep it running as it is. So either way, I actually think about if they want Manchester United, they'll go for Manchester United. If they want to go for Liverpool, they'll go for Liverpool. I don't think the only way I think you're saying that they'll go for Liverpool is because it's going to cost them a bit more, less money. When you're talking about big man like this, Sam, I don't think the money really matters. I think it's the club that they want, and they can make their own stamp on things. If you're talking about stamp, they can actually make a bigger stamp on Man United because the changes they can make. Whereas you're saying it's all pretty at the moment, and they're going to come in and walk into the party, Bashment's going to be playing, and they don't need to tell the DJ to change the music. Whereas they can come here and they can be listening to house, but they can tell my DJ to change the music and get us all boogieing. I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. So, bro, it's a battle.
Lads,
I have no doubt in my mind that it is. I just think I'm going to win the Battle of Qatar. That's it.
We'll see.
And I've given my objective reasons as to why.
And so
I understand Sam's reasons, but the reason why I don't think it is because if the people are investing into a club, they're going to come into the club and they're going to do the director of football, and they're going to do the team first before they touch anything else. So Man United, the way they're performing, and they've got the manager, so they would just literally be investing into the squad to make it better, to challenge for trophies, and then things like the training ground and the stadium and that will come secondary. So to get success on the pitch and win trophies and bring in extra revenue will happen first, and then that's what they'll use for the second. So it's not as clear cut as you think. I understand your logic, but if owners coming in to buy a football club, that's why it's not going to be Spurs. Because why would they?
And Clarky, on your base of your logic, who's in a better position to do that, Man United or Liverpool right now?
On the pitch at the moment, it's Man United. But with Spurs, you've got so much stupidness, like with portfolios of buildings and everything else off the pitch. No one's going to buy Spurs because it's just a mess. So they're going to buy a club and get all this event that they're not going to know what to do or won't have an interest in, or they'll buy the property and not the club. That's why it won't be us. If I'm looking at it objectively at the moment, Man United seem the better opposition in the way that they'll be able to do it on the pitch first and then do everything. They're not going to come in and go, okay, before we can challenge on the pitch for Man United, we're going to do the stadium, we're going to do the training facility, we're going to do this and the other. They're going to go for the football thing first, and then the other things they'll adapt and they'll improve as time goes on. So I think Man United would be the more logical reason. I understand your premise, but I think it works the opposite way.
If you believe the reports that were out there yesterday as well, the Emir of Qatar is apparently a Man United fan as well.
He went down to the local.
You know, Lee Gunner is so shameless. This is the same exact argument that I ridiculed of my own fan base when they showed the children of the Emir wearing Liverpool shirts to the final.
I knew you would be the first to pipe up as well.
Bro, his children were
I think we've got him. We've got him today. We've got
the Champions League final against Tottenham Hotspur, and I've got the picture of it. I'm not going to use that as an argument, am I? I'm sure Nasser Khalifi, the owner of PSG, grew up supporting Paris Saint-Germain and Doha, right? Come on, man. What are we doing here?
Sam, do you know what?
Let's be real.
And Guni can speak in it as well.
That's not really a point. And also, the reason why Alan's point is not really a real point, neither is Ty's point. We both need to spend the same amount to get to the mountaintop. In order for you to win the league, you have to spend about 200 million. No. So do I. I just...
Bro, look at what Clarkie's saying, though. Clarkie's saying, Sam, look at the position. Is he froze? No, he's back. Look at the position we're in. Eric Ten Hag's first season.
I'm here.
He's made, right? Yeah, I can hear you now. You're back. Clark is even saying, he's speaking on the context, the facts, by the way, the league table, the way we are this season, the improvements, yeah? Clarkie's on my side today, so you're just going to have to accept it. But the truth is, look at Guni's team, for example. They're not changing the training ground. They're not doing anything with this. They've come in and they've spent money, and I actually believe that Chelsea in a year or two would definitely be better off from it. However, if our owners come in and add them 3 or 4 or 5 signings to us, which Ten Hag wants, by the way, there's a difference. You look at Newcastle, they are not spending willy-nilly, by the way. They're buying the Botmans, they're buying the Dan Burns, people that improve the team straight away. And yes, they spend 60 million on Alexander Isaac, but that's a long-term project. You're allowed to do that as a Newcastle team, get 1 or 2 luxury players in that cost more. Man United are 3, 4 or 5 players away in the current market right now, away from probably challenging for the title, because Man City, we all know, are going through a revamp at the moment. I respect them for what they've done in the last few years, but they are going through a change at the moment. Something's not clicking there. No one put Arsenal in the conversation last season or at the start of the season to be winning the title. It shows that you're not actually that far away. The gap is not that big. I've been in with Lee time ago, and if I said to him a year ago when we're doing streams, Lee, yeah, you'll be top this time next year, he would have laughed at me, bro. He would have said, Ty, your hair's bald. He would have said, Ty, your hair bald, but your beard hair's going to go. Do you know what I mean? Sam, let me finish. Bro, let me finish this quickly.
I've got to spend just as much money as you to get back to the top.
Bro, but what you're not hearing, no. Think of football and forget Liverpool for a minute. What Clarkie is saying is that based on what we are right now, yes, you're going to spend, we're going to spend, but we are a few more signings away from something like really clicking. Whereas if you lot right now, you need a bit more of a bigger revamp. And at the moment, you are not clicking. So based on the logistics and the facts, they are going to choose Manchester United. I want to hear what Guni's got to say, because he's seen his team reinvest and they're not changing the training ground, but he knows in a year or two, they're going to be better off, but they're buying players first.
Based on the logistics, I've been at the top for the last 5 years. This is your first 6 months where you're in 4th place. You might not even finish top 4.
Hussam,
you know that, right?
Hussam, I know you're not a gambling man. I appreciate that, right? But give me some odds. Yeah, or just give me the percentages. What chance do Liverpool have to win the title next season compared to Manchester United? If no ownership changes, who's got a better chance?
But you see, this is where you mess
up the question. It's a straight question.
This is where the question is irrelevant, because you're asking me about with current owners. We are discussing...
No. We are discussing if Qatar or Saudis or Dubai's don't come in, and the Glazers are going forward into next season, FSG are going forward into next season, with the current state of both football clubs, yeah, with even no investment from the FSG or from the Glazers in the summer window, they buy nobody. Who's got a better chance to win the league out of your 2 teams?
I would still say myself in that situation. Because these players have...
This guy.
You can all... Oh my God, all you want. Jose Mourinho finished 10th with a team, and the next season they won the league. All this oh my God shit will not work with me. These players are players who have been at the top and they've tasted...
This same crop of players you're talking about, Hussam, that you currently have.
Did Mo Salah not win 3 Golden Boots in 5 years? Did Fabinho and all these guys not Premier League champions? Is Virgil van Dijk not one of the best centre-backs? Is Alisson not the best goalkeeper?
Well, Virgin van Dijk is shot to
he's going to be next season if he ain't this season. Mohamed Salah's falling off a cliff, so there's nothing to suggest it will pick his
you
form
hate
up
him
next
anyway.
season. I don't hate it. I don't hate him. I
Very
don't hate him.
defensive today, Hussam.
He is, isn't he? He's coming.
I'm not defensive. You know what? You know what it is. All of you guys, and this is what I expect going into any stream. It's the Man United twerk. It's the Man United twerk fest. It's everyone just twerk. Just
No,
Man United.
Hussam,
Why?
listen.
Because when they grew up, it was Man United and the brand and all the shit. Bro, I've become a shark as well, whether you like it or not. People are looking at Liverpool from 10 years ago. I just overtook you in revenue. I make more money than you. I'm more relevant than you.
And what's that doing for you lately? What's that doing for you lately? You're 10th.
And
what have you done for me lately, baby?
So
Nada.
Simple question. If I was first, do you think that would make us more attractive to Qatar? Just
no. Let me ask you something. If you were first,
no.
Let me
answer the question.
You know,
if I was first right now, is it more attractive?
No. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
But why?
United is more attractive for any businessman than Liverpool, respectfully.
No, I'll tell you why Liverpool's more attractive, though, Guni. Sorry to cut you, yeah? Liverpool would be more attractive if they were top of the table doing what they were doing in the last few seasons, going head-to-head with City. Yeah, I think that they would be more attractive because, like Tyrone said, boom, you can come straight in there, 2 or 3 additions, bang, you're dominating for the next 5. Yeah, but because you're not, and because most of your squad are pensioners and need to go, especially your midfield and defence, Van Dijk's a fantastic player. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he is finished at the highest level as an elite level centre back. Yeah, still a good defender, and on his day he'll still be world class. Yeah, I've seen Peter Crouch on his day be world class. He scored a hat trick against my team, the perfect hat trick, left foot, right foot, header. That guy is done. Most of your squad is done. You still have James Milner and Jordan Henderson.
You need a rebuild, fam.
If you was top with that squad that was still performing and firing, you could get rid of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them, like Ty said, and you could drop 3, 4, 5 in. But now you're 10th. It's less attractive because there's 9 more teams above you this season. You're getting pammed by teams left, right, and centre. Your best players have fallen off the wagon. Your best centre back's finished. Your midfield's non-existent, and your best striker attacker looks like he's shy of scoring goals. That is not attractive. When you look at Man United's on an upward trajectory with a manager that's just got there. Good vibes. Your manager's on a downward. He's scared to talk to the media. He's even saying 3rd goal didn't count the other day. He's arguing with everybody. He looks lost on the touchline. Yeah, the players look like they've had enough of it. It looks a mess. Yeah, now that may not be the case. But if I was trying to invest billions of pounds, it wouldn't be to Liverpool based on 10th place right now.
And you know what? To put the icing on the cake on that, Sam.
I'm saying everything that
Sam, come back to this as well. Let me say one thing.
I'm saying, but you all 4 of you agree with each other. So how many people am I going to respond to?
No. But
how can I respond to you? Every time someone it's like I have to respond to you and to him and
I love how Hussam goes on every stream and plays the victim.
Yeah.
I'm not playing victim at all.
Typical
I'm
Liverpool.
not playing victim at all. I'm just here to give logic and fact. I'm saying whether I was first or 15th, my argument wouldn't change. I've made money arguments. I've made financial arguments. I've made infrastructure arguments. Have I not, Lee?
I respect
Guni, don't fall for this. Guni, when have you heard a Liverpool fan in the last 3 years mention we've made more revenue than you? This is bullshit.
No, I know. Yes, listen.
We're talking about a team competing for trophies. Now they're saying, we made more revenue.
If they were so good off the pitch, if they were so great and fantastic.
I've never heard Liverpool fans mention revenue.
If they were so good with this revenue and off the pitch and the team's amazing, nearly did the quad, why do you want to change owner?
That's why we're FSGI. That's why I don't need to cook. By the way, and it's the same for Ty. If I get Qatari owners or he gets, we don't have to cook the books. We're already making the 2 most revenues in the country.
Yeah, so that's true. You only did the quad last season. You got the books that are already bigger than United's. Why do you need to change owner?
We need to change owner because they don't.
Maybe it's nothing to do with the owner. Maybe your team's just finished.
No, because they don't spend the money and they don't have ambition. So they're only worried about the financial aspect of things.
You've never heard
the Liverpool fans say you've made more revenue. Obviously, I'm not going to have in the middle of a footballing conversation something about revenue. But if you ask me about ownership, I'm going to include revenue. Because what makes the world go round? Money. I've made more money than you. Full stop.
All right, lads, super chat. Smokey Settings says Hamza and Hussam on this same show. Right. All right, listen, people, I'm not going to do Hamza dirty like that. I was talking to him while this was going on. We was trying to get him on, but we've just had too many problems. We're going to try and get him on for next week, though. He's in a different country. I think the VPN's affecting his ability to connect or something like that. So unfortunately, he's unable to join for today. But do you know what? Because we've got one more topic to discuss, because I know Ty's got to go soon. United are going to be kicking off soon as well. I want to talk about the Man City situation. But before we do that, I want to ask all of you, who do you think gets taken over first between Manchester United and Liverpool? And what is the most attractive club? I'm going to start with Julie.
United and United.
Ty, I already know your answer, but I'll go ask you. Same again.
United and United.
That's 2. Alan.
Same. United.
It's a clean house.
Hey, Guni, you got to make it 4 and 4, bro.
I agreed.
Democracy doesn't always
look
matter.
at disappointment on his man's face. It's like
Democracy.
no.
I never
were little and your parents used to say, "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed." That's the look.
No. That's fine. It's all your opinions. I don't have a problem with any of your opinions. I'm just saying you're all wrong, respectfully.
I see why you haven't had a haircut in a while.
The funny part is Man United are owned by about 20 different companies. That by itself makes the sales process longer. Whilst for me, all I have to do is FSB say yes, and I'm sold already.
And these men have got 335 billion reasons why they can do whatever they want.
Yes.
And
I've already told you financial reasons as to why they will buy me. Listen,
and
I
also,
remain confident.
by the way, just quickly, I know we want to move on, but you just said 20. We've got all you're saying we've got multiple people, blah blah blah. You're telling me these multiple people that have got money involved, if they hear that big man with money are then coming in, their stocks go up. So come on, think about it.
That's very funny, because today I went to the stock exchange 2:30 p.m. GMT, and your shares didn't even increase by $1. So hold that.
Oh man, you're a man of all trades, isn't it?
Sam, you got in there. Fair play, bro. Hey, fair play.
He came with facts today, like a wrecking ball. You come in and just tore it.
I told you.
But lads, obviously there's another massive elephant in the room of the whole Manchester City situation. And to be honest with you, me as a Chelsea fan, this has been a long time coming for them, because I felt my club were being thrown under the bus. Remember, our offences were less than like 20 transfers. I know it don't make it sound any better, but still, it's less than 20. When you're talking 101 on transfers alone, and then there's other matters that's going on outside, and now you've got these secret emails that are just being sent around with just bare fuckery going on, bro. Yeah, so what do you lot reckon is going to happen to Man City? Because obviously there's a case of extremes. Me as a Chelsea fan, I've been through this before. I've been on the receiving end. Your club's going to be in administration, relegation. You're going back to the dark days, to the shadow realm. You're finished. Well, listen, I want to try and give it a bit more of a realism. But you see with this Man City thing, apparently, from what we're seeing, they're saying that they've broken so many rules that it's not completely out of the window that they get a serious punishment. But like for me, that smells like maybe not next season, but the season afterwards, like a points deduction to start with, like a handicap, like a -15 or something, or a -12 or something. And then a transfer ban and probably a fine or something like that. But I can't see. Do you lot really see them getting...
Bro, the guy, sorry to cut you off, bro. The guy that put the story out there yesterday, or the day before yesterday, sorry, Marty Ziegler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy posted today, apparently. Somebody put it in my live chat before I came on here, saying that apparently it's going to take 2 to 4 years to resolve this.
Yeah, you see?
It's going to take 2 to 4 years. Personally, I think it's all a shambles anyway. Yeah, like not Man City. I think it's all a shambles. Like at the end of the day, like, yes, if they have broken rules, cool. I get all of that. They've broken rules, then bin them, put them in the Vanarama Conference League and all of that. Yeah, that's what should happen if they've broken the rules. Yeah, but the whole thing stinks anyway. Bro, an ambitious owner, something my club doesn't have, Hussam's club doesn't have, the Glazers aren't, and Tottenham don't have. They're all seen as cool. The Glazers have taken 2 billion out of United. That's not a problem to the FA. My club have just put the season ticket prices up 5% next season after 4% this season. Yeah, that's fine. They don't want to invest any of their money at all. Yeah, they've took a little bit of money out over the years as well. Liverpool's owners don't do anything. Yeah, and Tottenham's owners are more interested in Lady Gaga and Beyonce playing there than football. Yeah, that's all seen as fine to the Premier League. but an ambitious owner who's got billions and billions of pounds of his own money that he wants to spend to make his football club that he owns more successful. No, that's horrendous, disgusting. How dare you? I think it's an absolute disgrace. Yeah, and I mean this, right? FFP should be scrapped, bro. Yeah, you're allowed to spend 75% of your income. How is Brentford or Brighton, or even go lower down the league, somebody like Grimsby, I don't know, Doncaster, how are them teams ever going to make it all the way up to be able to compete? They're never. So when they say it's financial fair play, where's the fairness?
Do you know what I think it was that actually cost Man City in all of this? Yeah, I think it's a case of what's called hubris and ego, right? Because they had absolutely zero right to be declaring that they made revenues bigger than Liverpool and Manchester United. And I don't know if Real Madrid was part of that. And obviously by them doing that, they're probably just looking at this like they're just overtly taking the piss. Nothing's
going to happen to them, man. Nothing will happen to them, yeah? Bro, you're telling me that your owner came in from baseball, didn't have a Scooby-Doo about football whatsoever, and made a whole mockery of the FFP rules inside 6 months. And these sheikhs
he hasn't
have been there for years. Well, he has, because they're changing the laws. They're changing the FFP laws, so you can't put a player on an 8-year contract. Yeah, I watched the overlap earlier, and I don't normally watch it because most of the people on there are dead from the neck up, right? But I wanted to see what Gary Neville said. Gary Neville said that he was on a 6-year contract and then signed a 7-year contract at Man United. I'm pretty sure when we signed for Cesc Fabregas, we put him on a 7-year contract. But because Chelsea have done it, they've done it to get round and find a loophole in FFP. And he's done that inside 6 months, bro, and he knows nothing about football. You're telling me that Sheikh Mansour, who's wealthier by a million miles, with better lawyers, better people backing him, has done all of these bad things and he's going to get sanctioned and all of that? I don't think so, bro. Because if your owner can come in and inside 6 months find loopholes, you're telling me they didn't. And them emails, by the way, I nearly fell for this today because I set my stream up with the title leaked emails, yeah? Somebody put in my chat and I checked it. Them emails that are doing the rounds today, them emails were from 3 years ago that were thrown out the Court of Arbitration for Sport.
So they're not even in
not acceptable evidence. Yes, that was time barred, some of that, because they could only go back so far. Bro, they've already beaten UEFA, Premier League and FA light work. Yeah, nothing happened to them.
They're saying City fan relegated from the stream already. That's what's up.
Is he a City fan, the guy missing? Is he City?
Yeah, he's gone missing.
Bro, they're all in pieces, man. Everyone's attacking them like they're already guilty. What happened to innocent till proven guilty?
I don't know.
Everyone's desperate to get rid of them, you know.
Because look,
just from the neck up. It might be from the neck down as well. A couple of them maybe need Viagra, but let's not go.
No, but Alan.
The thing is,
Alan, listen.
Go ahead.
Because for me, look, it's a case of what Man City's done. I guarantee you, if you look into the books of most of the other top clubs, they've probably done things that are not too dissimilar for what they're being charged for here. But in terms of like their rise from like 2009, whenever it was onwards, since the Aguero moment onwards, do you think that it warrants them being kicked out of the league and stripped of trophies and all these things, even if they did break the rules? Because my thing is the players and the managers didn't, and they played out of their skin to be winning them competitions. And if you're going to be stripping off titles and that, what about the teams that got relegated because they got pumped by City? Or another team got pumped and as a result, they got relegated in another...
There'll be too many legal battles. And
that's what I mean. It doesn't make no sense.
Saying, give us the 3 titles or the 4 titles. Ollie's got a title in that. Maybe they should be more concerned about the Glazers stealing 2 billion out of their football club. Because if they'd spent that 2 billion, they could have got better people upstairs and buying better players, running the club better. Man City might never have dominated anyway. Man United would have. So it's mad. But this is what football is. What's happened to football. The 5 founder members of the Premier League, the big 5, were Everton, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, and Tottenham. They were the big 5, right? Yeah. Everton have fallen away and basically been replaced with you. Yeah, right. Let's be real with it. And obviously, Man City have come along, absolutely blown everyone apart, and the Premier League don't like it. This will be Newcastle in 5-10 years' time. They're trying to stick it on Newcastle in 5-10 years' time because they want that closed shop, bro. How can anyone, I said this a minute ago, how can anybody like Brentford, Brighton, or any other team lower down break into being a Premier League champion. It is impossible if you can only spend 75% of your income. How can Brentford get their income up?
Facts.
It's
impossible.
impossible.
I do fully agree with that. I don't think you should be able to come into a business and then be limited on what you can spend. Because, like I said earlier, when we're talking about
it's your money,
come in, you growth, and that's what you want to do in any type of business, whether it's a corner shop to a football club. And I just think, when you said two things quickly, just coming back to you, I don't think Newcastle Lee, and the only reason I don't think Newcastle is because they're so fresh into the ownership that they're going to look at this and probably learn from this, where they've caught it early. If they were 5-6 years in, there's probably 5-6 years of evidence of what they have done. But when you're looking at, a Qatari, Dubai sort of, Middle Eastern thing, what's happening with Man City now with Newcastle ownership, you're not then going to follow the same blueprint because you've kind of taken it as your letter of warning. And the reason I also think Man City will not get their league deducted and, relegated and stuff like that, Guni, is because, real talk, before they took the ownership, before the guys come in and they got the Alanos, the Robinhos and stuff like that, and then won the league, they were already like an established Premier League club. Yes, they weren't winning leagues and doing all that, but we all knew you go to Man City, they finish mid-table or they finish just below mid-table and you move on, but they were always in the Premier League. None of this West Brom up and down. So the fact that they could think about throwing them out, I think that's wrong because they were an established football club. And then lastly, bro, UEFA, they had the Court of Arbitration with all that situation. Whatever's happened in the 2 years since then, Man City have obviously tightened the ship. And it's not about what you know, it's obviously about what you can prove. But if they've got away with the UEFA situation, which was 2 years ago, and we're talking about the Premier League now going back, 10 years, the stuff that they've got caught out for by UEFA is going to be the same sort of things that they're probably going to filter into the Premier League. Since then, they've probably been more clean because you're going to say, right, Osman, imagine Osman run Man City. We're going to be like, yo, get in the room together. Let's sort this out and let's make sure we tighten things up. So since then, they would have tightened things up even more. So I don't feel like they're going to get punished. And whether obviously the things that come out, we'll see whatever happens 2 to 4 years. I just feel like if you're smart guys, which they are, like Lee said, you've got them owners, you've got them proper top lawyers, you're not then going to go through everything with UEFA to then make more mistakes since that case has been closed. Otherwise, they would have been punished back then. If they weren't punished back then, why should we feel like they're going to be punished now? That's my question.
I'll tell you why they're going to get punished now, because I think they will get punished. The reason why I think they're going to get punished now is the last time why they didn't get punished is through a loophole, because UEFA obtained information illegally. They got information through illegal sources, essentially to try to stop Manchester City. With the Premier League, they've gone through actual courts. They've gone through actual legal sources in order to achieve this information against Manchester City. So they've gotten information the right way, and it's 100 counts. It's not just like a thing or two. It's literally 100 counts that they're going to have to answer for. So they're going to have to pay for one thing or the other. And, with the stuff that we've been reading, let's just cut the crap here. They cheated. They went to the company. They found a mailbox. Mailboxes don't print money. It's just the truth, and that it's just an obvious scam job. How on earth has Manchester City made more revenue than Liverpool, Man United, and Real Madrid? What world does this exist in when Man City have about 5 million fans worldwide? Liverpool got 5 million fans in a city in Indonesia, and apparently they made less money. Come on, man, what are we doing here? This is just full of shit, to be honest with you. And City, listen, man, the period where they cheated in, any team that finished second should get the title. They should be stripped of every single one of them titles. They should get a transfer ban for 3 or 4 years, and they should learn what it's like to play football the right way. Do it the right way. Do it from step by step. You come in and you're winning 5 out of 10, and that's obviously just through them cheating the system, man. Them cheating the system. It's like Guni sponsoring this show via Guni's company, and the other sponsor is the other Guni company, and the third sponsor is the other Guni company, and he's like, we're going to spend all this money because Guni, but you're the same owner. The same people who own...
Why should Guni be restricted?
Guni should be restricted so we don't have 10 in 10 from the same club. That's why Guni should be restricted.
Why can't everyone spend money? And there's nothing stopping your owners putting money in.
There is something stopping my owners spending.
Yeah, they're assholes, and they don't.
I don't have a pump of money coming in from the same source.
No, but at the same point, your owners, Fenway Sports Group, they're worth what, 9 billion between them. Their assets and their wealth is 9 billion. Bro, there's 18 out of 20 teams in the Premier League that have billionaire owners. The only two are Nottingham Forest and Brentford. Brentford's owners worth 30 million. He's worth 30 million. right? Your owner, every other owner, sorry, other than the Nottingham Forest one, is worth billions. Arsenal got the third wealthiest owner in the Premier League behind Newcastle and Man City. Yeah, why can't he pump money in? Yeah, and there's nothing stopping you pumping in 200 million a year, which you're allowed to do as an owner. 100 million can go on for playing stuff, and 100 million can go on for wage bill. So you're allowed to pump in 200 million a year. Why ain't Fenway Sports Group doing that? Because that extra 200 million will get you better players.
Once again, we don't have other companies. FSG don't other.
No, but you can actually do that as an owner. You can.
No, but there is no FSG Airways. There is no FSG petrol pump. It's not how it works. You know.
No, but if your owner wants to put 100 million quid into your football club, he's legally allowed to do that under FFP rules. You're allowed to do it 3 years straight.
I understand. I'm saying it's different for Manchester City because all this happened before the FFP thing came to fruition, and they were doing it at a much higher level than that. They were signing players at a much higher level than that as well.
I get what you're saying, but my point is why hinder someone that's got the ambition to achieve the aim of elite sport, which is to win?
I'm not hindering someone to achieve the ambition. I'm hindering someone from achieving it in an illegal way in which they hinder everyone else.
But it's not illegal. Nobody's going to go to jail for it.
That's what I was going to say.
So we're all defending City as well. Great. We're all defending the biggest scammers in the last 20 years, and we're defending them as well. These people have ruined this fucking league and turned it into the Bundesliga, and we want to sit up here and defend them. Ambition, my ass. They have spent 10 times as much as any of our clubs. They've spent my club's worth since they bought their club on players and on staff and all that shit, and they've spent above the permitted thing. So what I'm saying is, I cannot myself sponsor my YouTube channel via my 3 different fucking companies and overtake everyone else because I can interview Roy Keane every week. It's not how it works. It needs to be fair. It needs to be fair, bro. And the fairness that you're asking for goes out from. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. I'm saying do it step by step, Lee. So that same 100 million that you're talking about. Okay, buy 2-3 players. The year after, buy 2-3 players. Become slowly competitive, like your club's done. Slowly becoming competitive, then win the league, sustain your success. I'm saying don't jump from fucking 8th and losing to Borough.
But they can't sustain their success. They're worth 25 billion quid.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But lads,
in regards to the whole, I mean, what?
Now go on, Alan. Carry on.
Yeah. No. In regards to that thing, I get what Hassam's saying in the fact that I also get what Lee's saying. If they're being successful, and they're actually putting their own money in, that's fine. But if they're doing it at the detriment of other people and they're basically doing underhand things and like taking away from other teams or potential opportunities. But let's look at Man City. When they've spent, they haven't normally always gone over the odds. They didn't sign Kane for 100 million. They actually saved money and went with Haaland. So you've got different ways of they're doing it. They're doing it in a way, like the way I think it's going to happen is they'll probably be found guilty of certain charges, X, Y, Z, whatever, all that. But it's going to end the way it always does with these governing bodies. It'll be a fine. And they'll just go, okay, thanks, chump change, 50 million, there you go. And they'll move on to the next thing. That's what it's going to be, because it always is with these governing bodies. It's going to be different,
I promise you. Wait and see.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be.
Time will show you. The crazy guy is right.
All right.
The interesting part for me,
FFP, I'm telling you now.
The interesting part for me is that if nothing comes of it, then all I'm going to say is that there's 2 sides to it. Man City either get punished and punished properly, or the EPL have to answer questions. Because if you're saying right and you're coming out and you're allowing all this information of 100+ breaches to come out, and then they don't get punished, then what the hell's happened here? Because
some of the breaches are crap anyway, like the medical room in the away end. Yeah, for like Man United travelling there, the dimensions were a tiny little bit too small.
Do you get what I'm saying? Wow. Some of it's just...
The grass was too long at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Right? So how does that help Man City if the grass is too long? Because surely that'll slow the ball down more.
Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? It's little things. And if you're saying 100+, something's got to happen. You can't do 100+, break the internet and say, oh, by the way.
They're doing that because they haven't got anything that can stick. So they're trying to make out that they're bad and they've been bad for 10 years. So we've got 100 different things that we can throw at them to make out they're bad. It's like when you go to court. Character background on a person that they're trying to convict in court, they'll bring out something from 2001 to say, look, he still hasn't or she still hasn't changed, because from 2001 we're now in 2023 and that person's still doing what they did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and they'll build up all these tiny little things along the way to paint a character in a bad light. So then the jury will sit there and go, oh yes, that's a bad person. And that's what they're doing with City. I guarantee out of that 115 alleged things they've done wrong, there'll probably be about 3 that stick. Yeah, and one of them will probably
also,
be minor.
Fans on the socials twerking for those trophies that Man City are going to get taken away for their own thing. I'm starving for trophies. I ain't taking that League Cup final we lost to them, and I ain't ever having hand-me-downs. I want to win the right way. I'm not taking no cheap.
No, but Hussam would be happy because Steven.
Oh, but you'll win the right way, but you're here twerking for City when they won the wrong way. Huh? So tell me, how does that make sense?
You man,
you're literally shaking your ass.
How did that work for City?
You're literally pulling your pants down and you're playing Rihanna and you're shaking it.
Oh, I said if they're done wrong, they should be punished. So that's not.
They need to award every single team that finished second with a trophy because that's a trophy that was illegally taken. Just
Gerrard's not going to be a Premier League winner, mate. Just get over it.
Gerrard would be your player after Henry. The only player at your club ever better than Gerrard is Thierry Henry. Don't even start.
Lads, listen.
He's better than everyone else.
Guni, sorry, bro.
No, it's calm. I was going to end the stream anyway. I'm about to end. Lads, I'm gonna bring the stream to an end. Apparently,
we go back to StreamYard next week.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen because I've tapped out on OBS. They've had me in this ankle lock for too long, and they just keep fucking me over, bruv. I can't hack it. Yeah, OBS out, Gareth Southgate out, all of that good stuff. You get me? But flipping
FFP out.
Yeah, all of that stuff. But
Man
next
City
week
out.
we'll be back on
Man United out.
Yeah,
Qatar
next week
in.
we'll be back on StreamYard, people. I promise you, no more lags. I ain't got a clue why this is doing this, but I just can't be asked no more. People,
I've enjoyed it though, man.
People, help us out on the road to 20k. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, thoughts in the comments, and all that good stuff. I am out, and as are the rest of them.
Yeah.
Bless
Big
up,
man.
Gareth Southgate out.